Hello, and welcome back to another lab. Today, we are moving away from VMs and moving into storage groups, storage accounts. And we're going to do what I call a mini lab. It's going to be a lab. Most of my labs are about an hour. And I think why people might say an hour, that's a long time. They're a little more detailed than most of the labs you see up on that other people do, I believe. I think that's something that distinguishes what I'm doing versus everybody else. That's what I think. I'm probably a little biased. But anyway, mini labs are going to be about 20 minutes long. This one might be just a tad longer, only because of some theory. But I'm going to try to do a lot of theory in storage groups. I'm going to try to add a little bit to each lab. And that's a good way to learn, little things at a time. So in this mini lab, what are we going to do? You might be asking. Well, we're going to create a storage account, and Azure file share, and then a Windows Server VM. And hopefully make some logical sense now why I start with the VMs in my lab series, because a lot of the labs, as we move on to other Azure resources, require a VM. Okay, so before you work with an Azure file share, you have to create an Azure storage account. And you're going to learn there's two types of storage accounts: a general purpose version 2, and a storage 2 supports blobs, files, queues, and tables. This mini lab will create a general purpose version 2 storage account. But creating any type of storage account, the steps are very similar. A storage account contains an unlimited number of shares. This is a file share type storage account. And a share can be unlimited number of files up to the capacity of the storage account. There's also a general purpose version 1 storage account as well. Here's an interesting fun fact here. The name you choose for your storage account must be between 3 and 24 characters and can include numbers and lowercase letters only. And notice this, unique across Azure. So unique across Azure, 3 to 24 characters in length and lowercase only. A lot of potential exam questions there. Then there's two types of file shares you're going to see. One is premium, and that is on solid state drives, which are a little faster, and they're great for databases, website hosting, event, etc. Then standard, and are using HDD drives, so they're not quite as fast. And standard supports 4 redundancy types. And we'll learn what those 4 types are in a second. And premium only support 2 types. So a lot of information there. Just remember now, the names got a lot of rules to it. Got 2 types. The faster ones are premium, using solid state drives. Slower ones use hard disk drives. And while the standard is slower, supports more redundancy types over the premium. All right. I think we have everything we need to know to create our storage account and begin our lab. So I already went and created a resource group called Storage Lab. I'm going to click Add here. Unless I have storage account over here. I do not. So I'll click Add here. Click Storage Account. And I'm ready to create my storage account. It's already in my resource groups filled in because I said add from the storage group. Count name, remember, 2 to 23 characters. Let's see. Yeah, no, 3 to 24. Big thing here is got to be unique and lowercase. Lab storage. ACCT. Is that too many letters? No. We'll put it, we're going to use East this time. Get away from East US 2. And notice here's our standard and premium. Remember one thing, we said something about Replication types. We got more options in standard than premium. And what they meant by that, if I go to standard and I go to replication now, don't worry about what these are. Just notice that in standard, it said 4 in Notepad theory, but notice there's 2 in preview, so it's really 6 now. And if I choose premium though, our options replication is only down to 1. So we're gonna go standard, and we got 2 choices, 1 or 2. And we're gonna go 2, and we're gonna go local redundant, and we got these access tiers. Thinking about these now, and we'll talk about all of this stuff in more detail as we move on, but this is enough theory for right now. Cool, you want to use that when you don't access the storage very often. It's cheaper that way. Hot is when you want to use when you do access the storage frequently. So in our case, we're going to go hot, and then go over to networking. We're not going to talk about anything here right now. We're just going to keep everything as is and say create. Create. All right, you can see that it finished. I'm going to say go to resource. And notice we have 4 types here. I'm going to go to file shares because I'm going to create a file share. And I'm going to click on the plus sign or add a file share. I'm going to give it a name of speed file share. And quota, let's give it, say, 1 gigabyte. Say create. All right, we got our file share. I'm going to click on it. And I'm going to click on the upload button. I'm going to upload some files to it. I'm going to click on the little folder icon. And my stuff, I'm going to choose some of the PowerShell scripts that we have. How about that? And say open. Then I'll say upload. And there it goes. Kaboom. Kabam. Okay, so far we created a file share and populated it with some files. So the next thing we need to do is create a VM. Well, we're experts at that. So let me clear screen here. Here I got a script all laid out already. We've used this script many a times. We're going to store our credentials in a variable. New AZ VM, storage lab. It's going to be name of our resource group, name of the VM, resource group, VNet, subnet, security group, public IP address, and open up some ports. So we'll run this command. And then run this command. And there we go, getting started. Okay, the VM is created. And we want to do is map a drive in the VM to this file share. So to do that, we need to get some information. And from my file share, I'm going to click on connect. And grab, oh, I don't have to grab it, I can just click right here. There you go. And then I'm going to go to resource groups, storage lab, and then find my VM. choose connect to the VM, RDP, download the file, save it. I'm going to overwrite it. And going to go down to here and downloads, and there it is. Connect and speed. I'm going to give the VM time to come up. All right, the VM is coming up. What you want to do is go to File Explorer here. You want to map the network drive. I don't do this very often, but I think I want to go here and here. Here we go. Other thing you want to do is open up a notepad session. And remember we copied that earlier. This is what we want. And we want to put in for the folder, we want to type in right here. Not right there. New PS drive. And we're going to click that as well. Connect user different credentials. Because we're going to actually use these credentials that are in here. User, password. So I'm going to grab the user now. And somewhere it should be not finish. Username right here. Whoops, got to do a Control V. And the password, I'm going to give myself a little more room here. From the quotes to the double equals. Copy. Control V. Okay. And there we go. I am connected to my file share from my VM. All right, so you want to come here. We're going to do a disconnect. And go to my file share, which is my storage group. Storage account, I should say. Click on, I believe it's over here, File Shares, Speed FS. I want to create a snapshot. Oh, here we go. Snapshots. I'm going to add a snapshot, which is basically a backup of the file. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the file and modify it. If you have lots of monitors, you go back and forth. I'm RDP'd into another machine. Then when you connect to another machine and that, it gets kind of funny how to control the windows. So that's why I disconnect it. But I'm going to go back into my VM. And it does make it a little clearer what machine I'm working on doing it this way. Sometimes you watch a video and they're changing machines, you don't really notice it because they're just changing windows. Alright, so now I'm back on the VM. I took a snapshot, so I'm going to go into lab number 9 here and edit the file. Wait for PowerShell to load. Yeah, the bad thing about that PowerShell command that I use for this VM, it's a very small VM. So in retrospect, I should increase the size or specified in the PowerShell the size. But anyway, it's all right. I'm going to pause the video because it's taking way too long. Actually see this message. We're going to close it. I'm going to try it again. Much faster. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, so I'm going to say this file has been changed. And I'm going to say save. Close that out. Disconnect from my VM. Now I'm back here. There's my original snapshot. I'm going to create another snapshot. So now I have 2 snapshots. However, so I got one at 316, which is the first one, and one at 319, which contains the changed file. I want to go to this one and restore the file. And it was number 9. So I could check it and say restore. Overwrite original file. There we go. So now if I go back to my VM, the file should not have this file has been changed in it, right? Open up lab 9, edit. And doesn't have the change. So we're done with lab 9. We're going to go to, say, a different one, not to so we don't get confused the process. We're basically going to do the same thing again, but show you a different way to restore the file. I'm going to use a different file this time just to make this example a little more clear. So I'm going to open this one called New VM. Oh, it's going to take a long time again, and it's probably going to bomb because it's a different file. All right, we'll pause the video. Oh, no, it came right up. Cool. And we'll say Speed Racer is the brother of who? Anybody know? Racer X. Yes. Speed's older brother. So we'll save it, close it out, we'll do a disconnect, and we want to close out of here, and we want to do another snapshot. So let's come to here. We'll add another snapshot. So now we have one again with the change. But we want to revert back. So we're going to go back to our VM. Yep, here. And we're going to restore that same file. Well, different, the file was modified, but a different way. So using the portal, the end user can do it themselves. So if I right click, properties, previous versions, there it is. I can say restore. We say yes. There we go. Close that. Bring it open. And we won't have the speed racer text. And as expected, it's not there. So this concludes our mini lab. I think you'd agree this was a great introduction lab to the wonderful world of storage accounts in Azure. And hopefully you enjoy the video and join me for the next. And you will join me for the next one while we learn about storage groups together. So I'm going to sign out. And of course, remember, as always, delete your resource group and be all set. Well, thanks a lot.